I'm going to be talking about a tragic event that occurred during 1972 Summer Olympics, a massacre that expanded, taking over 11 athletes and coaches by the Palestine group called the Black September. This event remains one of the darkest chapters in the Olympics and gives a chilling reminder of the intersection between sport, politics, and violence. This topic overall was new information to me, and the two sources I used were BBC and the New York Times as my secondary sources, and eyewitness testimonies and interviews by NBC coverage of the Monchi massacre and the official report by the German government on the Munich massacre as my primary sources. That was the introduction. During the 1972 Olympics were intended to be a celebration of peace and international unity. The Munich, a city built after World War II, was chosen as the host, as symbolizing hope, and the games were to be symbolizing Olympics of peace. However, the backdrop of this celebration caused tensions in the Middle East that were escalating. The Israel-Palestine conflict was such a reach with new high points, but Israel at the same time was still reflecting from the aftermath of the Six-Day War, and the Middle East was increasing with violation destruction. The attack was a tragedy that began in the morning of September 5th, 1972, around 4:30 a.m. Eight members of the Palestine terrorist group of the Black September had gone into Olympic Village in Munich. They entered Israel team's apartment complex by stealing and breaking in. Inside they took the 11 members of the Israel Olympic team. The hostages included athletes, coaches ranging from the ages 20 to their 40s, including the weightlifters, wrestlers, and they had shot a coach. The group had made it clear that their demands were to be completed, and they wanted to release over 200 Palestine prisoners held in Israel jails. They then were killed if failed, and the hostage-takers made several threats, including killing the hostages if their demands were not met. Meanwhile, the world watched in horror the situation unfold on live television. The tragedy began on the morning of September 5th, 1972. The outcome of the deaths and the hostages then lasted for several hours. By the early evening, the situation had escalated. The German police was not prepared for the high-stakes crisis and attempted to rescue the operation. The rescue attempt was a disaster. The terrorists and the police exchanged fire during the jails, and the 11 Israeli hostages were killed. Five of the terrorists who were also killed in the firefight, and three of them were also taken into custody. However, the damage was irreversible. The Olympic Games meant to be a celebration of human achievement and peace, but was then exchanged for a bloodshed and terror. These are the 11 people that were involved in the Olympics massacre and that were taken and then killed, hold hostages. The aftermath of the Olympic massacre was that the impact of the Olympic movement, the tragedy shattered of idealistic vision of the Olympics as a peaceful gathering of nations. In the aftermath, the International Olympic Committee and the German authorities faced several of circumstances for their handling of their crisis. This event led to a revelation of security measures as subsequent Olympic Games and security for the athletes. Israel's response was that the attack of Israel launched Operation of Wrath of God. This converted mission was then aimed of tracking down and killing those who were responsible for the Munich massacre. Over the course of the next few years, Israel had targeted and eliminated individuals who were linked to the attack. The Munich massacre was then a watershed moment in the history of terrorism, and it marked the first time that the world witnessed a terrorist attack that carried out during a major global event. The attack by the Black September, the way it has shaped and served as a model for future terrorist groups, blending political movements and ruthless desire for global attention. In conclusion, the 1972 Munich Olympics massacre stands as a grim reminder that while the Olympic Games are meant to be a unite the world in spirit of peace, they can also be vulnerable to the darkest forces of politics and terrorism. The tragedy left an unmarkable mark on those who were involved in the Olympics, Israel, and global security, and it serves as a reminder of ways in which global events can become the stage of a geopolitical struggle.